Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are building a modern loft that I actually built quite some time ago. I think I built this back around the time when Eco Lifestyle first came out, but I have a habit of pre-recording and then I have tons of videos that I have to edit, and it takes me forever to get around to some of them. But here we are finally. And this house took me forever. The shape of it is inspired actually off of a toy that my daughter has. It's like a little tiny playhouse for Barbie dogs. So like, I don't know. It's something that she got for Christmas a few years ago, and it goes with her Barbie house, and it's for like the animals to live in, and it's really cute, and I really liked the shape of it, so I thought I would try to use it and turn it into a tiny home. Because of the way that I have the exterior right now, where I have this little car park on the left side and then the balcony on top of it, it does end up being too many tiles to be classified as a tiny home or a small home of any kind. So I do end up adding some flooring outside on the back too for extra outdoor space. So if you wanted to have this as a tiny home, you'd probably have to delete some of that, but I left it in for now. And right now I have some, what are those, half gabled roofs right here on the ground to make it look like you could drive your car up into that space if you want to, and I do end up deleting those later and just manipulating the terrain with the terrain tool so that it like eases up into that space. Right here I'm messing with this overhead area for the balcony section, and I changed this a couple times, but I think what you're seeing right now is what I keep. I had to cut a lot of footage out of this because for whatever reason, the day that I was building, this house just took me like 4 hours, and I don't know why. It doesn't usually take me that long to build houses this small, but it is what it is. So there might be some things that just pop into place randomly, and I apologize for that, but it was becoming quite a long video, so I had to cut a lot of that out. But anyways, this is a one bedroom house. It does have a lower level right here where I have the living space, and I made this before we got the platform tool, so I did have to delete the floor down there and add in stairs. And right there you saw me checking to make sure that my sim could get up that ladder. I like having a sim on the lot when I do builds like this because I like to be able to play test it and make sure that it works. Otherwise, it sucks when you have a finished place and then you come into it and something doesn't work. So yeah, I had to test that out. So the bedroom is lofted, and I have the ceiling cut out so that that whole right side is like, if you're standing in the living room, you could look up and see the lofted bedroom area, and vice versa, you can be in the bedroom and see down. And it looks pretty cool when you go into the cinema mode inside the game. Right now I'm messing with the terrain, or not the terrain, the landscaping, and I kind of start it right here and I end up leaving it and coming back to it later when I do some of the fencing. But I took these shrubs and I made this really nice entryway up here. I think I'm really impressed with it. I think it looks very elegant and kind of ritzy or something. Like, I feel like this house looks like it should be very expensive based on the entryway alone. I use the shrubs to like make 2 different areas where it looks curved, and I get out a fountain. I don't recall which fountain I used. It might be the one from the garden. What's that called? My brain is not working today when I'm trying to think of what the packs are called. But it's the one that came with all the garden flowers and stuff. And I sized it down. So it is one that is interactable, that your Sims can like play in and sit on. So it looks a little funny when they sit at the fountain because they are floating a little, but I liked the way it looked, and it was too big on its own. You'll see that here in a moment. I had to get the driveway situated before I could figure out how to place the fountain in here. So I'll be doing that in a moment or so, and then adding in some more things out here, and then I think we're gonna move on into the kitchen. In my own gameplay, so I tested this game. I play tested it, or this house, I mean, quite a bit. I had my sim that's on the lot right now. She ended up living here, had a baby with Caleb Vitor, actually, of all people, because he kept coming around. So I was like, whatever. He's cute in game. I really like him. He's one of my favorite sims. I didn't really have any issues with the build. The only thing that I found kind of annoying that I did not like is in the kitchen I have a 2 bar stools and a like breakfast bar kind of thing that I build, and she can get to both seats perfectly fine, but anytime she makes food, she brings it outside and sits at the dining area outside, and so that was kind of annoying, especially in the wintertime, because she would just come out there and freeze. So you might want to maybe in the wintertime put all that exterior furniture in your inventory so that your sim won't do that, or maybe just put a roof over top of it. So right here we just talked over the pool that I put in, and here's the fountain. But I did put a pool in back there. I do leave that. I extended it, and then I decided I didn't want it to be bigger, and I made it smaller again. And here I was having issue with the corners clipping. When I placed down the circular pieces, I could see where the square pieces were underneath it, so I had to move that and delete them. The floor tiles, I mean to say. So here's the kitchen. I used a lot of these countertops, I think were from the fitness pack, or are these from Spa Day? Not the fitness, yeah, Spa Day. They're from Spa Day, I believe. And I used the cupboards. I really like the cabinetry and the tall wall length cupboards. I used 2 different in 2 other areas. So one over here on the left of where these stools are to make it look like built-in storage, and then I used them up in the bedroom as well for the same thing. I love this shelf that we got with the Eco Lifestyle Pack, so I sized that down once and I raised it up to make it look like it was built in to the wall. And in a moment I end up cluttering that up with some other things that I thought go well with the kitchen. And that's basically it for this space. After that, there's not a whole lot else in here. I add in some more plants over by the front door, and I change out this cabinet and add some clutter up on top of it to, I don't know, I think that's kind of realistic. I do have to add a wall in here for a second because I was having issues getting the red shelf to stay where I wanted it to. But there is no custom content in this build. I had the red shelf out just so I could use it for this kind of purpose right here, but everything else is regular game, no custom content. I delete the shelf so that you guys don't have to worry about that. And this is on the gallery, by the way. So if anybody wants to have it downloaded for their own game, my origin ID is Maeve329. That's MAEVE 329, and I'll have that down in the description box as well. This kitchen actually took me a while to come up with this layout because it was such a weird space, and I have a really bad habit of once I get the floor plan done or like the shape of the house done, I'm like really stubborn and have a hard time allowing myself to just make the room bigger by even 1 tile. I like think that now that I've got this, I have to use what I have, and that's a habit I need to break. But I made it work, and I actually am quite happy with it. Like I said, I've play tested it and everything works fine. I liked the way that fridge thing, it's not really functional. It's like a wine cellar or something. I placed that in here to make it look like it's built in, and I do the same thing up in the bedroom where I put in the coats and the shoes. And then someday we're going to be done with the kitchen. I didn't realize there was so much footage for the kitchen, you guys. Oh, another thing I could tell you real quick. The space where like the little car park is, in my own gameplay, I end up closing that in and turning it into a child's bedroom. So I think that's a really great way to utilize the space if you guys need to. And before my sim had the child, I also put some of the eco lifestyle stuff in there to like generate power and what have you. Right here I make my own planters because for whatever reason I put a ton of plants in this house, but I feel like we just don't have enough of them in the game, or enough that have a lot of versatility, I think. So I just found a couple different plants, stuck them inside of here, and I'm really happy with the way that they came out. And then in the bathroom, this sink right there that I deleted and put back, I end up putting a garbage can under there, as well as the bucket from Laundry Day that has like the cleaning supplies in it, because I think that's very realistic to have a garbage can in the bathroom and like cleaning supplies. I do believe I had to delete both of those in the end, or maybe just the bucket of cleaning stuff, because for whatever reason it was causing the sink to not work. So you'll see them probably pop in here in a moment in the game, but I don't think they're in the house anymore. Like I said, I built this quite a while ago, so I could be wrong. One or both of them might have been there still, and maybe I shifted them around. I don't know. But here in the living room, I tried to make a fireplace work in that little alcove, but because of the way the floor was deleted, the fireplace was floating. So instead I used these pedestals from Get Famous, maybe? I actually don't remember where those are from, and I was trying to get the cabinet here to face the other way, but it was acting up and clipping really weird, so I go about it a different way in a moment, and you'll see that here. I was trying to make this industrial looking shelf work first, but I get rid of that in the end, and I use those cabinets that I used already from Spa Day and make like my own makeshift entertainment center. And this isn't something that I do very often just because I don't ever think about it, but I see so many other people do it, and I love the idea of using the cabinets and other things to make really cool built-in pieces like this. I end up cluttering this section up with some books and a radio and a few plants. And then there's that one shelf, it's a corner shelf from Get Famous that has like a vase or something on it. And I never use it because of the style that it is, but I size it down and I raise it up and I tuck it into the corner over here just so that only the vase is showing right here. And I changed the shelf to black so that it matches in, and I really like that. And I've done that one other time, I think, in one of my other builds, and I pull out like those small vases that only have one flower in it and I merge it together, and it makes a really nice flower pot. So I think those are nice for that. Oh, I forgot to add a gaming system in here too. So I shuffle all of this around in a moment because I do end up pulling out that blue vase that we get from Island Living. That's one of my favorite vases in the game, and sometimes I overuse it and then I forget that we have it and don't use it for like 800 years, but here it is. So I move it over here by this potted plant and I shuffle everything else over, and then I'm gonna put those lighted pedestals back underneath there to fill in that space. And then once we furnish the living room, I'm going to use the little love seat couches right here from the fitness pack. I really like these, and I was trying so hard to move them around and figure out how I could make them work as an L-shaped couch. So I end up scooting them over right here, and I stick some more of those like pedestal things behind the couch along this wall to the right, and clutter it up with some plants and a few other pieces. And I don't know, the space feels kind of cramped, but at the same time, I think it works. I really like it. My sim does not have any issues maneuvering around this furniture, by the way. She can still get down these stairs, even though part of the stairs are being blocked by that pedestal. So I don't know, it works, you guys. And then the coffee table is one that is a pedestal from the Get to Work pack. I really like using those in smaller spaces like this because our other coffee tables are just so bulky and huge, and I really feel like they're kind of annoying and hard to use. Like, we don't really have any good ones for small spaces. Like, we have that round one from Tiny Living, and I think we maybe have one other one, and we have that ottoman from Tiny Living, that really pretty blue crocheted one, but neither of those really fit the aesthetic that I was going for in this house. So this one's a great alternative and I really enjoy it. We're almost done with the living room. I'm gonna add a chair over here by this bookshelf, as well as one of these ottomans from Nifty Knitting, and a picture on the wall. And then we're going to bounce upstairs to the only bedroom, and I do also create an office space up there as well. I wasn't really sure what else to put in this house. I didn't really have any particular sim in mind other than possibly my sim that's on the lot. She was so much fun to play with too. She's erratic, kleptomaniac, and evil. And I've never really played with the erratic sims before, and I was just cracking up the entire time. It was so fun. But right here is where I have the built-in. I create a little makeshift closet, and I do shuffle it around a little so that the clothings are hanging on the right side. Oh, I cut something out right there for some reason. What happened? Okay, I don't know what happened there. I might have to look at this, but the closet is over there now. The bed is over there now. I did add a dresser. I have no idea why the footage just shifted like that, but here we're adding in a office space. I get a computer in here. I end up with a guitar, a microphone for like jokes and singing, and this house actually has 2 art easels. I put one up here in the corner, and there's one out here on the upper balcony. And we also get some yoga items out there as well. So we get the meditation stool and the yoga mat. Oh, so I did have one issue because of the way the porch is out there. During thunderstorms, those items did get struck by lightning and I had to replace them a few times. So if you don't want that to happen, you might need to maybe, I don't know if it helps to add a roof on. I have no idea. Here we are back onto the bedroom side of the room. I used I believe this bed is from Seasons, as are the curtains. The side tables are too. They're some of my favorite side tables, and the matching dresser to those I love. And right there I was trying to decide between these candles or that lamp that was there, and in the end I go with the candles. I put a bookshelf down here from, where is that from? I actually don't remember, that one with the elephants. And then I was trying to get the sugar skull to be on the bottom shelf, so I had to fill up the spaces on top of the end table, and I still couldn't get the sugar skull to go where I wanted it to, so I give up, and I put this tray down there from, I think, Spa Day, the one that has like the oils and stuff on it. Apparently I used that pack a lot in this, you guys. So if you don't have it, you might be missing a lot of things. And then cluttering up the dresser over here with some girly products. I have a habit of making houses for girls. I do have some coming up for like bachelors or like dads with kids. So stay tuned for those. They'll be here hopefully soon. I'm gonna add a few more clutter items over here to the desk, such as this little open book, like she was taking notes in, maybe some magazines. I don't remember if those, I have a stack of CDs on the red shelf, and I don't recall if those end up on the desk or if they end up somewhere else. And then I'm gonna get an ottoman over here. I tried to use that couch and it just didn't work. So I end up with the ottoman, and I put a plant in the corner. This one I sized it up. I like to do that from time to time because I actually kind of like that plant. So I size that up, and I get a fake laundry basket underneath and a stack of towels on top. We're going to get these wall decorations, as well as the one that looks like a sun. And then we're going to pop out to the balcony for a moment because I cut that footage out on purpose, because I set it up to be like a seating area, but I wasn't really vibing with it. It wasn't working for me, so I leave it. And we come back at the very end of the video, actually. And so we're going to hang up these lights, and then we're going to move downstairs to do the outdoor seating areas. These lights kept clipping really weird, and they wouldn't go where I wanted them to, so I had to move the camera around a ton. So here we're working on the patio space. I get a grill back here and a working sink. So you have a whole kitchen out here except for a fridge. And then I was trying to get these island counters to line up with the normal counters, but I had to move them into place with like shift clicking or alt clicking. Alt clicking is the one you use, I think, to freely move things. I've been playing a different game lately, so when it comes to remembering Sims stuff, my mind is so fuzzy today. So I apologize, you guys, if I'm like rambling and don't make any sense. I'll be better in the next one, I promise. I cut out where I went through the debug item to find all of these outdoor grill things so that I could clutter up the space a little. And then we're going to use this dining table from the Perfect Patio stuff because I really like this one. So that is the table that I'm talking about. You might want to put in your inventory because my sim goes out there constantly. So I cut out a little bit of footage right here because the little fire pit, I was really wanting to make it work with having the fire pit on dirt, so I kept deleting little pieces of the ground to try to make it fit where I want it to, but in the end it just wasn't working for me, so I end up putting the flooring back in there and having the fire pit and the chairs just on the patio itself. That caught fire on me 2 or 3 times during my gameplay, and it was actually really funny because I'm actually not sure if it happened because of like the fire pit itself or if it happened because of Caleb Vitor, because every time that it caught fire, it was because of him. So like he'd be out there roasting at it and he would just catch fire, and he's doing this all on his own. It wasn't me having him do it. And it was just so funny. So be mindful and watch that. If your house burns down, I am so sorry. But right now we're out here landscaping a little bit more, and then I think we're going to pop back up to that upper level and add in the art easel and the meditation items, and then we go down to the carport where I put in a boxing thing and some garbage cans and a bicycle. So after that, it's the end of the video and we're going to jump into screenshots. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, you can find this under the gallery under Mave 329. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.